Did you know that there are actual laws in place throughout the US and Canada that restrict trick-or-treating after a certain age? Should there be an age limit to trick-or-treating? In this video, we'll take a look at some history and different points of view on the topic. Over the years, many towns have enacted laws enforcing age limits on trick-or-treating. In 1968, Chesapeake, Virginia experienced a rash of pranks, including older kids throwing firecrackers into younger kids' trick-or-treat bags. After this, Chesapeake cracked down on the older children, limiting the Halloween ritual for those 12 years and under, making it a Class 4 misdemeanor to trick-or-treat if you were over the age of 12. Decades later, in 2019, the law caught the attention of the national media. Even late-night talk shows were making fun of the restrictions. After this, the law was changed to allow kids up to 14 years old to partake. But to be fair, despite all the hubbub over this law, Chesapeake officials have stated that over all these decades, no one has ever actually been arrested or fined for breaking the age limit law. So it seems the law is simply there to give the police more authority to take action if the Halloween hijinks ever escalates to something dangerous, as it did back in 1968. But Chesapeake isn't the only place to slap restrictions on trick-or-treating. Places like Bathurst, New Brunswick, Canada, or Charleston or Bishopville, South Carolina, Boonesboro, Maryland, towns in Mississippi and Virginia, and many more all have restrictions on age for getting that sweet, sweet candy. Now, many of these towns may have a good explanation or history as to why these policies were enacted. It is also important to note that I could not find any examples of any kids actually being fined or arrested for a violation. However, if a kid did something stupid on trick-or-treat night and got caught, they would likely get fined or arrested for the specific act they committed, not for breaking an age limit trick-or-treating law. So really, what is the point of these laws, and are they even necessary? I do think this all begs a bigger question. Even if kids won't actually get fined or arrested, is it right to shame older kids who still want to trick-or-treat? Consider mental or physical disorders. Perhaps there is an 18-year-old who has a brain disease and just wants to participate in trick-or-treat. Or maybe someone who trick-or-treated with a parent and made great memories, and those parents have since passed away, and this ritual is a nice way for the kids to remember their parents. Or maybe a kid simply has a passion for Halloween and for costuming. We shouldn't just assume that every older kid who wants to trick-or-treat is some sort of deviant. Most teenagers who are truly deviant nowadays are more likely not interested in old-school Halloween trick-or-treat pranks anyway. But there is a history of something called Mischief Night or Devil's Night, especially in the Northeast United States. Now, this is a topic that could have its own video, but to sum it up, it includes activities like tic-tacking, which is throwing corn at houses or toilet papering yards, or even smashing pumpkins and other pranks and light vandalism. This tradition of causing havoc right before Halloween in America dates back to the beginning of the Great Depression in 1929. While Mischief Night or Devil's Night is a real phenomenon, it typically takes place the night before Halloween. So this doesn't typically coincide with trick-or-treat night. So restricting teenagers from trick-or-treating likely doesn't deter their mischievous behavior. In fact, one might argue that banning older kids from trick-or-treating actually increases the chances of mischievous behavior. After all, in a day and age where kids are pushed into adulthood at such an early age, why not let them enjoy the innocence of their youth while they still can and while they still want to? Perhaps fostering their involvement with the holiday is a better strategy than simply banning them from partaking in it. Perhaps older children's resentment of being told they aren't allowed to enjoy the tradition they've known their whole life, mixed with their aggressive, pubescent attitudes, is a perfect storm for some good old-fashioned mischievous antics. Another reason cited for age limits on trick-or-treating is that older kids tend to bully the younger children, especially those who are without their parents. Now, this is a fair point. As a teenager, if you want to take part in the childhood ritual, you can't be running around bullying people or stealing candy. I mean, let's be real, stealing a little kid's Halloween candy is about as low as it gets. So while I would personally argue that there should be no age limits to trick-or-treating and that we should encourage kids to participate in youth activities instead of constantly pushing them to adulthood, I also would encourage those same kids to not be assholes. Because at the end of the day, in all walks of life and interests and events, just a few assholes can ruin it for everyone else. Well, that's going to do it for this video. What are your thoughts? Should there be an age restriction on trick-or-treating? And if so, should that be a law or just a general consensus? Leave your thoughts in the comments and let's discuss it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe. Enjoy Halloween, enjoy trick-or-treating, and we'll catch you in the next video. Take care.